I'd like to welcome everyone to our Elmore County Commission work session dated Monday, June 25, 2018. I'll call the meeting to order. We'll begin with our regular business. First, a review of the minutes of the June 11, 2018 Commission meeting and any corrections. Any comments or corrections there? We'll proceed to the review of the memorandum of warrants for the period of June 7, 2018 through June 19, 2018. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for the period stated, the memorandum of warrants was $1,198,371.25.
All right, thank you. Any comments or questions there? Okay, we'll proceed now to the old business. We have one item that's been on our agenda for the previous two meetings to discuss the Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board appointment due June 25, 2018, which is today. The listed candidate that has been submitted is Mr. Jimmy Monk. Is there any comments or questions or consideration there?
My only comment, Mr. Chairman, is I think Jimmy would make a good member of that board. Right. I think he's a good guy, good businessman. He would do good. So that's my comments.
Right. Thank you. Any additional comments?
Chairman, I've spoken with Mr. Monk about this appointment. He is, of course, willing to serve. His name came to us as in a letter from the board as a recommendation. So I agree with Commissioner Holt. I believe he was serve that board well.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Holt and Commissioner. The microphone's good?
Not really.
Okay, we'll just all speak up. Some of our mics are working and some aren't. Any additional comments on Mr. Monk being considered for this Healthcare Authority Board appointment? Okay, thank you. We'll proceed now with the discussion of the opioid litigation representation. As many of you are familiar, we've had three different law firms come and present to the County Commission their respective positions regarding the opioid litigation and their proposal in representing the county in this matter. Some are encouraging this to be handled in state court and others in federal court. We have asked our counsel, Mr. Jeff Courtney, to provide us with some update as to his recommendation regarding this matter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I've been working with all of the candidates. I'm expecting some more information from each of them very soon. I anticipate we'll be able to come to a resolution on this matter very, very soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If prior to our next meeting, if you could get some information sent out to the Commissioners on your recommendation. I've also spent some time speaking to other county commissioners from neighboring counties and what their perspectives are, in addition to some of the municipalities in the area. And I think that this is very important that we get good guidance as to what direction we would like to go as a commission. Any additional comments there from Commissioners? We'll proceed now with our new business. We'll invite Revenue Commissioner Lee Macon to come to the podium and address us regarding a mapping project.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have our proposal from Atlantic Group. They're the ones that have done our aerial photography the last 4 times. We fly every 3 years, and this is just, you know, we'll end up flying next. They'll end up flying next February, but this is the proposal, and we'll go ahead and get the contract here. But I need to go ahead and make y'all aware of it. The money that comes for this comes out of the mapping and reappraisal budget, so it does not hit the general fund budget. So, but this money here actually is going to go to update our aerials, and we do it every 3 years. But I'm going to need y'all to sign off on it. So,
okay. Any comments or questions there regarding that?
Is this contract here pretty much like the ones we've signed in the past? The Commission
basically, yes. Yeah.
Not any difference.
Yeah, I mean it's basically it's one that we've done. Basically, you'll get the same contract we've got 2 years ago this
okay.
time, or 3 years ago this time, and it's pretty much general. It's basically a list of what they do is kind of already listed in the proposal. I think y'all have a copy of.
Right.
They'll make sure it overlays with all our mapping and all our stuff like that, and work with us through the whole process. They've done a great job in the past, and we really enjoy actually working with this company. It's an Alabama-based company, which is also something that I also enjoy out of it. So.
Did I understand you said it was coming out just discretionary for them?
No, it's mapping and reappraisal, which is kind of my state budget, you know, so it doesn't hit our general fund.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank y'all.
We'll proceed now with a discussion of the Coosa River Paddling Club Corn Creek Park lease renewal. Mr. Byer, if you can give us some context here.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in December of this year, our 3-year lease with the Coosa River Paddling Club for Corn Creek Park will expire. They have provided us a letter asking for that lease to renew. They, as long as they do that within the 90-day period prior to the lease expiring, we have the option to renew it for another 3-year period. Since 2015, when this 3-year lease went into effect, we have partnered with Coosa River Paddling Club and with the City of Wetumpka to put in a new access road that allowed us to secure the sheriff's firing range and his training facility, and has allowed us to actually have construction equipment go in and out and not do any damage to the judicial complex roads or parking areas. So it is my recommendation that we renew this. They have been good partners. They have done their part of the lease and kept up their portion, and that park is a great asset to the county and the citizens. There are members in the very back. Mr. Lonnie Carden, I believe, is the president currently. So I know he didn't want to say anything during the meeting, but if you want to say something to him at the break or something, I know they're very appreciative of the fact that the county has been entering in this lease and that we have partnered with them over the years.
Thank you. Any
Mr.
comments?
Byer, is that open to the public, or is just you have to be a member of the
No,
public?
sir. It's open to the public. It's open
Okay.
from dusk to dawn.
All right.
Dawn to dusk, excuse me.
It's my recommendation that because of the recreation and the family, going there and whitewater, not whitewater, but kayaking and canoeing and so forth, I think it's a good cause. I think we should renew it.
Thank you. Any additional comments? I too appreciate the recreational aspect of the Coosa River in our community. It brings a lot of economic growth to our community and also provides our local citizens with opportunities to enjoy nature, and we appreciate the partnership that the Coosa River Paddling Club has offered in conjunction with the county and the City of Wetumpka. We'll proceed now with a few ALDOT items. Consider approving agreement with ALDOT to microsurf and stripe Kennedy Avenue. Mr. Byer, if you'll just give us an update on these 4 right now, and then
yes,
we'll go
sir.
through them.
In summary, this is going to address 13.78 miles of roadway on these 4 projects. Total cost is about $1.23 million, and our match will be about $247,000. This is all programmed in our budget, and that gets Kennedy Avenue, Coushatta, Rucker, Coosa River, and Hogan Road all microsurfaced and restriped. So,
are these projects, what is the time frame that you would anticipate on these?
when we execute these, probably in the next 30 to 45 days, work starting on them.
Okay. I'll go through the remaining 3, and then if we have any comments or questions. Consider agreement with ALDOT to microsurface and stripe Coushatta and Rucker Road. Consider agreement with ALDOT to microsurface and stripe Coosa River Road. And consider agreement with ALDOT to microsurface and stripe Hogan Road. Any comments or questions on any of those from commissioners? I think this is a good time to recognize our Highway Department for their focus on utilizing and maximizing every dollar that we get in completing some of these projects and preserving some of the roads that we do have in the county. As you learn from the news and other places, there are counties in the state that are taking paved roads and turning them back into dirt roads because they can no longer financially support maintaining safe roads in their county. And we're not in that position to do that, but we do recognize that there are tools such as microsurfing that help to extend the life of roads, and we appreciate the work in conjunction with ALDOT to get that done. We'll proceed now with consider authorizing the CEOO and Deputy Chief Engineer to surplus the attached list of triaxle trucks and sell same through J.M. Wood Auction, including necessary budget amendments to handle payoff and sale proceeds from transaction. Mr. Byer, will you update us on this as you and I have discussed?
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, the normal rotation for these trucks would be another 18 months, but due to some changes in the market and some model changes that are coming out, we've had several sources talk to us about going ahead and rotating our trucks. These are all manual transmission trucks. Most of the fleets are going to the automatic trucks, and so try to minimize any kind of adverse effect we would have from that change. The recommendation is to go ahead and sell those trucks. We're able to, on the next item, we're also able to go ahead and secure trucks prior to the September time frame when the current trucks we have would sell. This also gives us the ability, we've had a number of issues with trying to get flatbeds and keeping a flatbed truck that is serviceable for a lot of the work that we do. We're actually going to rotate out 5 dump trucks, and we're going to have 4 trucks with the dump bodies on it, and then we're going to come back with 1 with a flatbed, and then be able to rotate that truck and get away from using surplus equipment from DOT that's usually has age, and usually we're the final resting place for that truck. So this should streamline our fleet. It should reduce our fleet by a truck or 2, and we feel like, as we have with the other trucks, we're either going to get our money back out of them or minimize the amount of ownership costs that we have over the life of the truck. So any questions for me on the truck rotation?
Just to confirm, if this goes through and these trucks are sold at auction and the new trucks are purchased, there would be no gap in the service for the citizens. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's correct. And Mr. Chairman, with the next item kind of being commingled and discussed, I will say that as we purchase the new trucks, we will do the same practice we've done in the past and solicit quotes from our local banks on the financing, and allow them the same opportunity that some of these equipment finance companies can provide us, and then based on the numbers make the best decision to service the public.
Thank you.
Mr. Byer, since we are rotating these trucks earlier than we had planned, we feel pretty confident we're going to be able to, or are we putting a reserve on the bid price?
Yes, sir. We got a gross reserve or gross guarantee on the trucks that's within $4,000 of the original purchase price.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Any other comments or questions there?
I only have one, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman. It's my understanding these new trucks are going to be about $750,000. Is that?
The total package will be about $750,000.
Okay.
So it's in the ballpark of what we financed the last time. It'll be probably about $50,000 more for the 5 trucks for the automatic transmissions.
Yeah. And we're going to bid it out to local and other banks.
The financing, yes, sir. The trucks will be bought off the ACCA joint bid.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And the next item, which is connected to this, consider authorizing CEOO and Deputy Chief Engineer to purchase and finance 5 triaxle trucks and bodies from ACCA joint bid, including necessary budget amendments to handle financing and purchase. And that financing will include the opportunity for local financial institutions to be competitively bid in that. Proceeding now, discuss renewal agreement with ADOC for Elmore County Recycling Program.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, back in July of 2015, the county entered into a second agreement with the Department of Corrections to service our recycling program. For any of you that are familiar with that, we purchase bins, and we've basically been able to purchase the bins through an ADM grant program, so the county has had little to no expense. And we put those out in some private collection only and some public collection areas, and the Department of Corrections services all those bins for the county and the residents at no charge. They take the proceeds they get from the recyclables and put it back in their program, and they use the facility at Draper and Staten, the recycling center, or the MRF, to be able to do that. we have an option to renew that for a year here. What I would like to do is recommend that y'all do this renewal this time, and then put us in a position to where we can have a conversation with them about another 3-year program and renewal, so we don't have to come back every June, July and renew it again. But so far the program has worked good. We have some headaches every once in a while. They'll have a truck driver miss a route, kind of like garbage pickup in general, but for the most part they do a very good job. And I guess the most important thing is, other than some administrative headaches, every now and then it costs us nothing to run a recycling program, which if you look around in the southeast, not many people can do that. So it's a very good program that we have with the Department of Corrections.
All right. Thank you for that information. So is just out in this adjacent parking lot, is that one of the recycling bins?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate that. So this would be a 1-year agreement, and then the opportunity we can discuss a longer term agreement?
Yes, sir.
I would ask that we consider some ways by which we can make that more publicly known, some of those recycling opportunities. We do have questions from time to time, people asking where they can go to recycle, and I think we can get that information out. We'll proceed. Consider awarding bid inquiry 2018-17 CRS-2 to the lowest bidder.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for the last few years we have exercised the state bid on CRS-2, which is the liquid asphalt that we use to do all of our strip patching, our surface treatment, and our pothole patching with our one-man pothole patching truck. About a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, the supplier for the state contract had a problem with their plant, and they have been down and are down indefinitely, being able to produce liquid asphalt. And in talking with the state and their procurement people, we weren't satisfied with the answer we got from them on how we could procure, so we have gone in and done our own bid, and it actually is going to save us money on our liquid asphalt, so this will probably be something that we continue. But we need to ask that y'all award this so we can get back. We've been down for about 3-4 weeks in terms of our strip patching, waiting for liquid asphalt to be back available to us. But I believe if I am not mistaken, Luke can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $100 a ton in savings on these bids. So the state bid was not as competitive as most people thought in terms of having it in place. So that's why you'll see in another month and a half we do a bunch of annual bids. It's for the same reason. Items that we think we can get a better price with a local bid, we do. So.
Thank you. We'll proceed with the consent docket. Approve the travel memo. Any comments or questions? We'll proceed with personnel notifications. Notification of resignation of Christopher Curley, investigator, effective 7/3/18. Notification of hire of Ashley Walton, part-time corrections officer, fill vacant position, effective 4/17/18. Proceed now with reports to the Commission. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I've got 4 items for you. One, if you have not stopped in the lobby outside the tag department and seen the new digital directory and info kiosk, you should. Your faces are on one of the tickers that go across every so often. But we've got several screens set up. One is a directory of the building, so instead of using the old boards in the front of the old courthouse area, that now we've got something that's a little bit more interactive. It also can display any kind of information that we're trying to relay to the public as they're coming in, not just important contacts and places for them to do their business, but also events the Commission has going on, as well as important calendar dates. Kim has worked very hard on that, her and Sam together, and I appreciate their work on it. I think y'all should, when you have the opportunity, to say something to them about the way that has brought us up in technology. You have 3 things in front of you. One is about the LUCA and the census process. We posted this on Twitter about a week and a half ago, and I thought there were some interesting facts to relay to y'all if you did not see that Twitter post. Heather Moe in the office has been doing all this review on her own. And just to put everything into perspective of what she's been working on the last few months, 1,980 census blocks have been reviewed. We put about 420 man or woman hours into it, and about 70,000 addresses have been cross-checked. I think she told me the other day that she had about 6,000 changes that are being submitted to the Census Bureau. So, and not all those would necessarily be a brand new address, but a high percentage of those are addresses that have to be added. So a lot of work has gone into that, but I think at the end of the day, as we've talked about, the next phase is getting the word out to the public about when the surveys actually show up, that they need to complete them, get them back, because that is one of the main sources for formulas for our funding and how we keep tax money from Elmore County coming back into the county for programs. The other sheet I have from you from the Board of Registrars, Miss Janice Horton dropped that off the other day. She wanted you to know what they've been processing through the last elections and how our statistics fall within counties in our adjacent area and statewide. And you'll see, you know, we're about the 18th largest county in registrants, which is consistent with us being about the 19th largest county in population. And last, you've got a document in front of you about the spring clean. A lot of those items may look familiar to you because the Alabama Pals group took a lot of our social media posts before and after the event and used it in their summer magazine. So I think that's a pretty good testament when they just basically pulled stuff off our Twitter feed and put them in there for their magazine and talked about the cleanup effort that happened in April. So I would say that we got pretty good momentum after our first year of Spring Clean. Commissioner Holt and several of you wanted to spearhead that effort, and we will be doing our best to try to recognize all those groups that did participate and get us in a position for the coming year to do something bigger and better as we approach April of next year. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have in the way of report. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Thank you. We'll now have reports from the Commission. We'll begin with Commissioner Holt.
Mr. Chairman, a few things. One is I appreciate the group that's here tonight. All of y'all. We got a few more than we normally have. And I appreciate what you guys do because it's all guys right now. I'm sure there's women too, but with the paddling club, because I think that's important. That we have recreation for people to do. It's free. Is that not right? I mean, there's no charge. So I think that's great. And also another issue, Jimmy and Monk, I appreciate you wanting to be on a hospital board because you're not doing it because you want to make a lot of money. You're doing it because you want to help, and that's what's important. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate my fellow commissioners because I think we try our best to work together. We don't always vote 100%, but we work together, and that's important. And like I said, I appreciate the citizens that are here tonight, and I wish we'd have a full courtroom. But I do appreciate all of y'all coming. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Daughtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for coming. Regarding personnel notifications, Investigator Christopher Curley is leaving the county to pursue other employment opportunities, and he's been serving this county for a lot of years and within the Sheriff's Department in numerous capacities, and I just want to thank him officially for all the service he's given to this county. He's the epitome of professionalism and proficiency, and we wish him well in his new endeavors.
Thank you. Commissioner Mercer.
Thank you, Chairman. Currently, the county is working with the city of Millbrook and Aldott on an upgrades to the intersection of Kinsley Avenue and Grandview Road, and it intersects Highway 14 in Millbrook. And Mr. Bauer, I'd just like to say what a good job Highway Department staff has done. That project has come along very well, and I believe we're probably going to be finished a little sooner than we had hoped, but we're not going to get our hopes up because a lot of things can happen between now and then. But so far, it's gone very well.
Right. Mr. McGinty sitting behind me and his staff have done an excellent job keeping that going, and working through the issues with ALDOT that have come up, and I appreciate that.
So I appreciate that. The other thing is, I just wanted to echo a little bit of what Mr. Byers said, specifically in relation to the census. That will be something that we'll all be seeing in our mailbox here soon. And there are very few things that the census does not influence. And I'll just give you a few examples. Your district lines, congressional, local, what size retail facilities some developer may put in our county, the size restaurant someone may put in our county. I could probably name 10 others, but there are very, very few things that the census is not used as a source when someone does anything in any area, not just Elmore County. So when you get that census form, please fill it out and send it back in. It's so vitally important that we have a good accounting of the people in our county. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Reeves.
I just want to thank everyone for coming, and especially give some thanks from the citizens from the county for the fast and sufficient work that the highway department doing, keeping those people satisfied. That's all I have.
Thank you. We had a couple items earlier this month. Commissioner Reeves' mother-in-law, Fanny Chapman, passed away, and the commissioners and commission staff all received this nice thank you letter from them for supporting their family, and we continue to be in prayer and support their family. Unfortunately, we also as a state saw this past weekend the unexpected passing of Bridget Marshall, the Attorney General's spouse. Many of you have seen Attorney General Steve Marshall in our county over the last month or so. He's been out campaigning, but he has participated in several local events here. Many of you have seen or heard him speak, and it's unfortunate that his wife, passed away, and now we're hoping and praying for him and his daughter as they try to overcome these challenges that they're facing right now. I echo Commissioner Mercer's sentiments regarding the census. I do hope that we will all take that seriously and continue to do all that we can to encourage our fellow neighbors, citizens, people you go to church with, whoever it may be, to participate in that. I'd like to remind everyone of the July 17th runoff that will take place here in Elmore County. We have one more commission meeting prior to that, but it's very important that that date is on everyone's calendar and that we all take an opportunity to participate actively in casting votes in those few races that are in a runoff. I appreciate my fellow commissioners and all of our staff, and I hope that we are doing the things that we need to for the citizens, and we all continue to be open and willing to discuss things with citizens. As I've had several meetings this week with individuals who'd like to meet and discuss certain matters, and we're always open to do that. I'll now turn the time over to Kimberly for the important calendar dates.
Wednesday, July 4th, the courthouse will be closed in observance of Independence Day. Monday, July 9th is the next commission meeting at 5 with the business meeting following. Thursday, July 12th through Tuesday, July 17th will be the NACO annual conference in Nashville. And Saturday, July 14th is the next countywide cleanup from 9 to 1, noting the rotating location as the town of Elmore Annex.
Thank you. We'll reconvene shortly. Welcome to the Elmore County Commission business meeting dated Monday, June 25, 2018. I'll call this meeting to order. We'll begin with an invocation offered by Commissioner Holt, following which Commissioner Reeves will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
My most gracious Heavenly Father, I appreciate this day you've given each and every one of us. And I appreciate the wisdom you've given us to do what we all think as commissioners is the right thing for this county. I want you to be with each and every one that we have on our prayer list at church and at home, because we know that you have a plan for everybody. And we don't always like the plan necessarily, but we know that you do, and there's a good reason. And we most surely thank you for our Savior Jesus Christ and what He did for us to give us the opportunity to be forgiven of our transgressions and sins, and enter into heaven. We thank you so much. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Let's stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Kim, would you call roll?
Commissioner Holt?
Here.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Here.
Chairman Stubbs?
Here.
Commissioner Mercer?
Here.
Commissioner Reeves?
Here. Proceed with regular business. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the June 11, 2018 Commission meeting as presented during the work session?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of warrants for the period of June 7, 2018 through June 19, 2018?
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Proceeding now with old business. Is there a motion to appoint our only existing candidate, Jimmy Monk, to Elmore County Healthcare Authority Board?
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Proceeding with new business, is there a motion to approve Atlantic Digital Orthophotography and Mapping Project Agreement?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve Coosa River Paddling Club Corn Creek Park lease renewal and authorize chairman to execute?
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve agreement with AlDOT to microsurf and stripe Kennedy Avenue?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve agreement with AlDOT to microsurface and stripe Cusada Rucker Road?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve agreement with AlDOT to microsurface and stripe Coosa River Road?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve agreement with AlDOT to microsurface and stripe Hogan Road?
Motion. I'm sorry.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
All right, proceeding now, is there a motion to approve authorizing CEOO and Deputy Chief Engineer to surplus the attached list of triaxle trucks and sell same through J.M. Wood Auction, including necessary budget amendments to handle payoff and sale proceeds from transaction?
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve authorizing CEOO and Deputy Chief Engineer to purchase and finance 5 triaxle trucks and bodies from ACCA joint bid, including necessary budget amendments to handle financing and purchase?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve renewal agreement with ADOC for Elmore County Recycling Program and authorize chairman to execute?
Motion. Go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve awarding bid inquiry 2018-17 CRS 2 to the lowest bidder?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the consent docket as reads?
Motion. Oh, go ahead.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Personnel notifications, notification of resignation of Christopher Curley, investigator, effective 7/3/18. Notification of hire of Ashley Walton, part-time corrections officer, fill vacant position, effective 4/17/18. Any additional reports to the commission? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.